I know exactly what you've been told your whole life. That you're too sensitive, that you should toughen up, that you shouldn't take things so personally. Maybe you've even apologized for crying, for caring too much, for feeling too deeply. And somewhere along the way, you quietly began to wonder if something inside you was broken. But I want to tell you something that no one has said to you clearly enough. The diagnosis you've been carrying is wrong. There is nothing defective about you. You are not weak, and you were never a mistake. What you are is what psychologists call a highly sensitive person. But even that term feels too small for what's really happening inside you. You're not just sensitive. You're a super sensor. While others move through life capturing the world in standard definition, your mind is recording everything in breathtaking 8K resolution. And today I want to show you the neuroscience that proves your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a finely tuned, high-performance radar system that the world desperately needs. To understand yourself, you have to understand your hardware. This isn't a personality quirk you picked up along the way. It is biology. Your brain processes information differently from the majority of people walking around you each day. Think of the human mind as a camera. Most people operate at 720p, capturing the essentials, staying efficient, using just enough energy to get by. But your brain sees the texture behind the texture. It absorbs the detail behind the detail. It runs on a level that is richer, deeper, and far more complex. Neuroscientists have identified 3 upgrades in your hardware, 3 reasons the world feels so loud, so bright, so overwhelming, and also so unbelievably beautiful to you. The first is this: your brain doesn't use the same filter that others rely on. Most people tune out 90% of what they see just to conserve mental energy. They blur the background noise. But your mind treats nothing as background. The chair beneath you, the subtle hum of electricity, the shift in someone's tone, you take in every layer at once. Yes, this can drain you quickly, but it also allows you to notice what others completely miss. The beauty in small moments, the patterns that predict outcomes, the emotional signals that guide wise decisions. The second upgrade is your empathy hardware, your mirror neurons. They don't just function, they overfunction. You don't simply understand that someone is hurting, you feel that hurt echo inside your own body as if it were happening to you. You are not imagining this. Your brain is literally simulating the emotional state of the people around you. You're an emotional sponge, moving through a world that spills everywhere. And then there is the third upgrade, the most misunderstood of all, your depth of processing. You may have spent years thinking you're slow, indecisive, or trapped in overthinking. But here is the truth. You are not slow. You are thorough. When someone speaks to you, you don't just hear their words, you analyze their tone, their intention, their pauses, the history behind what they're saying, and the consequences of how you respond. While others react on the surface, your mind dives into meaning.
Your hesitation is not confusion, it is computation. Your brain is running a full simulation to choose the best possible outcome. That is not a weakness, that is mastery. Now, you might ask, if this kind of sensitivity makes life so exhausting, why would evolution keep it? Why would nature design a brain like yours if it wasn't necessary? The answer is one of the most important truths you will ever learn about yourself. Sensitivity survived because humanity needed you. In ancient times, most people were warriors, bold, fast, impulsive, willing to take risks without thinking twice. They were essential for survival, but not sufficient. A tribe full of warriors would have walked straight into danger again and again. Someone had to notice the subtle shift in the wind before a storm. Someone had to sense when another tribe was lying. Someone had to read patterns that others could not see. That someone was you. You were never built to be the toughest fighter. You were built to be the wise advisor, the one who feels the approaching danger before anyone else. Your weakness is an ancient survival tool. But here's the challenge. Modern society is engineered for the warriors: loud, fast, aggressive, quick decisions, non-stop stimulation, minimal reflection. And when you place a super sensor in a world designed for numbness, of course they feel out of place. But being out of place is not the same as being without value. You process everything so deeply that you reach your limit sooner than others. When you suddenly need silence, when you shut down without warning, when you retreat into a dark room just to breathe, this is not you being dramatic. This is your system overheating. Your RAM is full. Science offers a beautiful metaphor that explains this perfectly. Most people are dandelions. They can thrive almost anywhere: sidewalk cracks, busy streets, chaotic environments. They are built for resilience, not sensitivity. But you are an orchid. You need the right environment, the right light, the right soil. When conditions are harsh, you wilt faster than others. And for years, you may have blamed yourself for not being a dandelion. But research shows something extraordinary. When orchids receive the right environment, they don't just survive, they bloom with a complexity and beauty that dandelions will never reach. You were not meant to harden yourself to survive concrete. You were meant to grow in a greenhouse. So here is what I want you to understand. You do not need to toughen your skin. You do not need to rewrite your biology. The world already has enough people who feel nothing. What it does not have enough of are people who feel everything. Your gift is rare. But like all rare things, it must be protected. Build boundaries. Honor your need for quiet. Surround yourself with softness, with people who understand the way you absorb the world. And the next time someone tells you that you are too sensitive, pause for a moment. Feel the truth beneath your ribs. Smile internally, because you know something they do not. You are not seeing the world incorrectly. You were seeing the world in 8K resolution. And in a society becoming more disconnected by the day, your ability to feel deeply is not a burden. It is humanity's last remaining superpower. And perhaps because you feel so much, you've learned to guard your inner world carefully. Maybe you are that person who shows up online but never posts anything. You read, you watch, you observe, but you rarely reveal yourself. To others, it looks like silence. But psychology suggests that silence can be a sign of something far more interesting. It might be the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need the world's approval, or the self-protection of someone who has spent a lifetime absorbing too much. If you want to understand which one you are, the confident ghost or the overwhelmed observer, I break down the psychology of the online ghost in the video waiting for you right here. And I think as a super sensor, you'll finally see yourself clearly.